Hi guys, it's Kate again. I hope your summer is going well so far. I've been enjoying a lot of summer reading, and I've also been enjoying some book buying. So I thought I'd show you a haul of what I recently got this month. The first book is a manga. It's Spy Family Volume 1, and as you can see, I got it thrifted, so I had to tape it up a little bit. But I was still really excited to find it. I've never bought a manga before. And this was a series that my friends really liked, and so I was excited to read it. So seeing it out in the wild was really exciting. I've already read this one, really enjoyed it. We'll be getting more from the library. I don't think I had the space to own the entire series. But I'm really happy to have the first one. And it was a learning curve to read it because I knew the pages go right to left, but I didn't realize the frames also go right to left. So it took me a little bit to figure out. I'm a little embarrassed by that, but it's all good. And I'll know for the next one I read. Then we went to Barnes & Noble, and because my husband had to pick up a copy of The Odyssey because he wanted to read it again before the movie came out. And so I went and shopped the middle grade because they tend to be in the genre I really like, but also they tend to be more inexpensive, and I appreciate that time in my life. The first one I got is Willow Dean by Catherine Applegate. And I've read 2 or 3 Catherine Applegate now and really enjoyed them. But this is one that has a little bit more of like some magical realism going on. As you can see, the bear with the wings. It looks like it is kind of an environmental story. Something is changing in her town where there's less of these winged bears, and she needs to figure out what's going on and how to save them. And I just love how Catherine Applegate writes. She always writes her characters with such empathy and complication and sweetness. So I'm really excited to read this. And then because it was on the buy one get one 50% off table, I got another one from that table. And this one was Last Chance Academy, A Study in Secrets by Debbie Michiko Florence. I don't know a ton about it, but it looks like it's a school for children who are either delinquents or have struggled other places. And then there's some sort of kind of scavenger hunt going on, as you can see from the red string. And I'm just really intrigued by this concept. I like academy stories. I like treasure hunt, scavenger hunt stories. So I was excited to pick this one up. I'm always looking for middle grade I haven't heard much about. So yeah, I will definitely give this one a shot. This next one, I read the author's, he has more books than this, but his book that kind of was a breakout book for him last year, I Am Rebel. Absolutely loved it. So then I saw this one at the store. His 2026 release, Small Wonder by Ross Montgomery. And it says, if you have one chance, make it count. Up here, you can't see it on the camera, but it also has sprayed edges, which is super cool. And then this really neat back cover. And it's a Candlewick Press book, which I just love. Candlewick Press books are always such high quality. But anyways, I'm not sure what this one is about. It looks like it's a fall story, so that's when I'll be reading it. But it's about a boy and his horse. I really liked I Am Rebel, about a boy and his dog. It looks like it's in another fictional war setting. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. I know I'm going to love it. This author just really delivers. and I'm happy to have such a pretty copy. And then one day we went to Sabers, and they have a deal where if you buy 5 books, the 5th one's free. And so I bought 4 and he bought 1, and he was having a hard time finding like something he was interested in, but some days it's just like that. But yeah, I found a few really cool books. The first one is The Ambrose Deception by Emily Ecton. And here's what really got me. Up here it says a Weston game style mystery. And it's got all these different, I assume they're clues having to do with this mystery. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this one. It looks like it's just going to be really clever. But it also says heartwarming. And those are the type of books I like. So I don't know much more about it than that. Sorry, I can't explain it more. But when it said Weston game style, I was like, you know what? I am sold. This next one is one I was actually looking at on Goodreads. So then when I saw it in the thrift store, I remembered it and was like, oh. This is Adventure is Now by Jess Redman. I think it has to do with some ecological stuff, but it also has to do with a boy like learning to survive in the wilderness. Not in like a scary way, but more just like a appreciating it nature way. He's a little bit of a misfit. He's been bullied at school. So he's kind of finding his way and coming of age. But yeah, this one looked really cool to me. I'm always interested in stories like this. And I really love the cover. This next one, so I read my first Tiffany D. Jackson book earlier this year. And I haven't read a lot of her stuff because it's too rough for me. Like, I appreciate what she does with her stories, taking true crime stories and making them, into books for YA readers. So the first one I read was actually her middle grade book, Blood in the Water. Really, really liked that. So I was looking through her YA books on Goodreads, like, is there one that I can stand, that I can stomach, because I'm a pretty sensitive reader in some ways. And so this one ended up getting added to my TBR, and then I saw it, and I don't think it's one of her well-known ones either, so it was surprising to see it at the thrift store, but I saw it there and I was like, okay, I will get that, I will try it. It's Let Me Hear a Rhyme by Tiffany D. Jackson with lyrics by Malik Sharif. And I think it's a little bit more of a, like, less true crime, more of in the vein of The Hate U Give, where it's some teens grieving their friend and kind of figuring out what they're going to do about it. I don't know a ton more about it than that. I just know that I really like her as a writer, and I'm excited to try something else by her. This next one is a little bit of a chance for me, but I've heard of the author, and I know people really love their YA books. And so when I saw there was middle grade, I'm like, I usually tend to like middle grade more, so I'm going to go ahead and try this. But this is Curse of the Night Witch by Alex Astor. And I don't know much about it, but there's this concept where, like, you get like a mark on you that says what your like job in life is going to be, and this girl doesn't want it, so she does something to change her mark, and then she wakes up and the new mark means she's cursed and she's going to die soon. So now she and her friends have to go look for the Night Witch to reverse this. It is a duology, so if I enjoy this, I'll definitely be looking for the second one. But yeah, I mostly got it because I want to try something by Alex Astor. If I like middle grade, I will try YA. I just am always happy to find new authors that I haven't read before. And yeah. So then we went to, another day we went to our local used bookstore, and I was able to, I had 4 books. It was a small amount, but I had 4 books, and I was like, hey, maybe they'll take them. I can get some store credit. They took all of them. I was like, okay, this is a great day. So I was able to get a little more from this bookstore than I was expecting. The first one I got was Comet in Moomin Land by Tove Jansson. And I've known about the Moomin characters for a while. I know people love them. I know it's become like a wide, there's lots of media surrounding it. But so I've been wanting to read one, but I could never find the first book. So when I saw the first book there, I was like, oh, okay, I will grab that. And it was only like $4 or something, which is a really good price for a used bookstore. So I'm really excited to read this. And then on the back, it has all the rest of the Moomin books. So I'll know the order I need if I want to read more. But yeah, it looks really cute. Last time I was at this bookstore, I bought Mr. and Mrs. Money, Detectives Extraordinaire. And I left the second book behind because I was like, well, I don't know if I like the first book. Well, I've decided that I'm going to like the first book, and I've never seen the second book anywhere else. So when I saw it again there, I was like, I gotta snag that. And it was only $4.50. But this is Lord and Lady Bunny, Almost Royalty. And I have no idea what happens, but I just know this is a 2-book series, and this is book 2. So now I have the complete series, which I'm very happy about. It looks absolutely hilarious. She looks surprised. He looks a little suspicious. But I'm really excited to read this series. I don't know if I'll get to it this summer or if I'll wait for the fall because it's a little cozier. But I'm really happy to have the second one. This next one I've had my eye on for a while, and last time I was in a bookstore, I almost bought the first book in this duology. I almost bought it brand new. And then I saw it at this bookstore, and I was like, I really want to try that. I finally read the concept and was like, I really want to try that. So this is Snow Globe. It's a duology. This is the first book by Soo-young Park, translated by Jungmin Lee Comfort. And it is a Korean dystopian novel. And the concept is, I'm really excited about this. The concept is this is like a freezing world. And there's a dome that's heated. And everyone that lives inside it, their lives are televised to the rest of the people outside the dome. So like you get a measure of privilege, but then you have to kind of sacrifice your privacy and your life for that. And I just think it's really interesting because, you know, in Korea, they have like a really strong idol culture. And so I'm wondering if this will be kind of a commentary on that. But yeah, I looked up the trigger warnings for it, and this looks like something I'm able to handle. I'm really excited to read it. I'm always trying to read translated books and books with different perspectives than your typical, you know, YA dystopian. So if I like it, I'll have to grab part 2. But yeah. Oh, and it's a gorgeous cover. This last one is one I keep looking in thrift stores for because it's been out for a while. And eventually I was like, okay, I'm just going to have to buy a full price book, but I don't want to. So when I saw it at the thrift store, I was like, yeah, at the bookstore, I was like, yeah, I need to get that. And that's The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes by Suzanne Collins. Now, I didn't buy this when it first came out because I wasn't interested in reading it. I actually spoiled the plot for myself. I read negative reviews. I was just like, yeah, who wants a story about the villain? And then I watched the movie. And I heard the book was better, but the movie was so fascinating to me in the way it was done. His slow descent into madness that I was like, I've heard the book's even better. I don't like this character, but I feel like I have to read the book now. I wanted it in hardback to match my copy of Sunrise on the Reaping, because originally I was going to write for a paperback for all of them, but I think it's cool to have hardcovers, the ones that I've been around in the fandom for them to be released. So I was looking for a hardcover of this, and this one was half the price it would be brand new, and it's pretty good quality. There's a little bit of wear on the dust jacket, but I'm really excited to have this. I want to read it soon because I need to read Sunrise on the Reaping before the movie, but also I'm not going to rush myself. There's only so many Hunger Games books. I've read the original trilogy now, so I kind of want to savor them. So yeah, that's my book haul. I hope you enjoyed seeing what I've got. If you've read any of these and you think I should get to them as soon as possible, let me know in the comments. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.